Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Joe Chaffee for SNS Storm Chasers. I thought we'd do something a little different today because of the weather being so quiet, nice and beautiful, and I hope you're enjoying it. But we're going to take a look at what's going on in the Pacific because this is going to have some implications down the road in the eastern United States. We're in the western Pacific, and this is Typhoon Omais. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. And it's coming very close to Japan, and you can see a couple of things going on here. There's a frontal system that extends down out east of Korea, and there's another one that's approaching. So Omais seems to be recurving into this weakness that in the upper flow that's ahead of this frontal system, and it's moving, looks like north-northwestward, and eventually it'll turn northward and then northeastward as it goes from there. Now, why do we care about this? Well, I'm going to show you a couple of things here with regards to the longer range, and this is the typhoon right here on the GFS, and this is something the European model telegraphed a few days ago, that they did it pretty aggressively, and that typhoon is right here now moving northeastward. You can see it as it passes east of Japan and Korea, and then on up northeast from there. But it winds up as probably right here as an extratropical storm going toward Alaska. Now, I want to just back up also because I want to show you what's going on down here in the tropical regions, that you have all these systems developing. You've got this one here, you got this one here, you got another one out here, and this one winds up rotating around this one. It's just really bizarre. The whole thing is a mess. It drops southward and then it moves westward from there, at least on this model. In the meantime, some other system develops out to the east on the GFS. This is later in the period, and recurves into the westerlies. And the reason why we care about this is that oftentimes as typhoons recurve into the westerlies in the Pacific, they wind up energizing a low over Alaska or the Gulf of Alaska over time, which could force a ridge to build up here in the western states and force troughing into the east. So when we look at our long range, and we're talking down the road here, when we look at the long range for us, we're back in a ridge position here later this week, so it's liable to get hot and humid for a couple of days until another cold front comes through, and here's another trough coming into the east. But over time, we'll see how this plays out. Another ridge tries to build in the middle of the month, and with everything that's getting energized in the Pacific, eventually the GFS resolves this with troughing in the east and a ridge out in the west. So what this all means is that possibly longer term, for the latter part of August, that rather than get into some kind of hot pattern with the big ridge building up in the eastern states, that action in the Pacific will wind up generating troughing here in the eastern states. Now, the other reason why this is important is that if we do have some kind of troughing here, then we have to start paying attention to see whether our tropics on our side get energized, because with a trough in the east, it opens a door that if something is in position, say east of the Bahamas, when you get a trough that tries to drop down into the eastern states, that's when you could have a tropical system move up the east coast. I'm not saying that's going to happen. We're just talking here in theory in terms of the longer range. Other than that, there really isn't too much happening to speak of. A couple of weak systems in our tropics, and that's just about it. We have a relatively benign pattern to look forward to, other than, say, typical early to mid-August type weather. So go ahead and enjoy what's turning out to be a fantastic Sunday, and have a great rest of your weekend. And be sure to tune in to SNS Storm Chasers when severe weather hits. And, of course, also tune in to meteorologistjoechaffee.com for all the latest weather across New Jersey, the southern New England, Long Island, New York City, the Hudson Valley, and eastern Pennsylvania.